All right, 2006 BMW 750i. Transmission is a ZF6HP26. This also has an E-shift valve body. All right, I got some codes, 507C and 507B. That has to do with the park lock solenoid. And I have a 4F84 ratio error clutch D and 4F81 ratio error clutch A. All right, so I get in the car, start it up, put the car in drive, jumps back to park, put the car into reverse, jumps back to park. So I know that we're dealing with low pressure in the transmission, and that is due to a broken bridge seal in between the valve body and the pump. Because remember, with these E-shift valve bodies, and you have the park lock solenoid, you have the MV2 solenoid, okay, those need the pressure to work in order to get this car out of park. Okay, so I have the car, I had to wait for the car to cool down because I couldn't even drive it. Once the car cooled down, it sat for a couple hours, able to bring it around, get it inside, and I have it up in the air with the pan down. So what we're going to do is go over to the car, I'll set up the camera, we're going to drop out the valve body and confirm that we're dealing with a broken bridge seal. All right, if that's the case, I'm going to get a new bridge seal, I'm going to get a new connector. I actually have the connector out already also. The connector came right out. It has, I don't know, I guess maybe it's the earlier style or the earlier seals. It has the orange seals. Those tend to leak a lot. But it was a little tight up there, so I did that now. Dropped the pan, had the guy, tech drop the pan, and I took the wire harness out and I pulled the tab down and I took the connector out. So all we really got to do is just take the bolts out. Actually have most of the bolts out already because I wanted everything to drain as much as I can. I got 2 bolts holding the valve body in, but I did not take it down yet. All right, so I'm going to head over to the car, set up the camera, and we're going to drop that out and verify that that seal is broken. And if it is, I'll get another one, and then we'll go back up with the valve body. All right, so I'm going to set up over by the car, and I'll be right back. All right, one thing I wanted to show you guys before we drop this valve body out. This is the park release cable, all right, and here is, I call a little J bracket, and this is attached to the transmission. This actually will take the transmission out of park. And you see there's a little space here in between the end of the cable and this bracket, maybe, I don't know, about 2 millimeters or so, or whatever the clearance is here. This is adjusted correctly. You don't want this end of the cable right up against this bracket. All right, that's misadjusted, and it can make those 507 codes show up like we're getting now. All right, and if you do have to adjust it, you adjust it right through here. All right, there's a slide here, and then you want just about that amount of clearance right there. That is perfect. So that I'm not even going to touch because that is adjusted correctly. All right, so now let me reposition. We're going to drop this valve body out, and we're going to see if this bridge seal is in fact broken. All right, so let me reposition, and I will be back with you in a few minutes. All right, so we're going to drop the valve body out. I got 2 bolts actually holding the valve body in just to save a little time. So I got one here, and all the rest are out, you know, the short ones here. And so we're going to just take the 2 bolts out, drop this thing down, see what's going on with it. Okay. Okay, let me hold it up here. Okay. All right, valve body is down. I just need a place to put it. Now let me put it in the pan. Second. Now let's pull that seal down. Just want to make sure that's steady. We don't want that to fall. Okay. All right. Now let's pull this down. And this bridge seal 100% is broken. There we go. Right here, 100%. That is our problem. Which I kind of figured, but all right, so it was up here. So what's going on is definitely low pressure in the transmission from this seal breaking.
So pretty much all we're gonna do with this thing is put the new bridge seal in, and we're gonna put a new connector sleeve in, because that is the old style with these orange O-rings. These tend to leak, so I have another one, has black O-rings on it. And we're gonna put this back together, refill it with oil. What they claim they did about 3 days ago is do a service. They put a new pan and new fluid, and figured maybe that would help, but that did not help, so that's when they had called me. And that's it. So we're gonna get the new seal, put it up, hang the valve body, and put this back together. So here is that, park lock right here. All right, so let me get the seal, and actually tomorrow morning we'll hang this valve body back up and go from there. Alrighty, so I shall return. All right, so when you're reinstalling the valve body, this is the arm, this is the rotating lever, and this is the arm that you want to install into the piston rod. So when the solenoids get energized, park will be released. This one right here. All right, so I just wanted to show you that as well. Now we're going to reinstall the valve body. Okay, so we're going to install our new bridge seal. All right, that's a nice fit right there. All right, now we're going to hang this valve body up. Okay. Okay. All right, let's just grab this light here, make sure this is good. Okay. All right, that looks good. Okay, there we go. That is in, all the way up. Everything looks good. I got a nice space again in here on my little bracket here for the park release cable. And that went up nice and smooth. get my torque wrench. Tighten these down. I gotta get the new sleeve. I actually, I'm waiting for that. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get set up and torque this valve body down. All right, so I'm going to torque these down about 85 inch-pounds. All right, I think that is it. Alright, so that was our problem 100%. Alright, so I just got left to put the new sleeve in, hook the wires back up, and I'm going to have the guys put the pan back up. And they clean them again. They just changed the pan and the fluid, so just going to put all that back. Alright, so 2006 BMW 5 Series. We had the typical 507 codes for the park lock, also some gear ratio codes, clutch A and clutch D. So we confirmed the transmission had very low pressure due to the broken bridge seal, and that was confirmed actually because when I would put this into drive, especially when it got hot, it would jump back to park, reverse jump back to park. When the car was cold, I was able to actually drive the car around to the back of the shop to pull it in our back section here. This is actually our truck section, and I'm working on it because it's the only lift I have. And it drove around fine, no problem. But more when it gets hot is when you're gonna have the issue. When they first drove it to me the other day from the repair shop, maybe about 2 or 3 miles away, I couldn't get this car to stay in drive or to stay in reverse. It would jump immediately right back to park. But again, cold seems to be okay until it heats up, and then that's it. You'll get the oil thins out and you'll get very low pressure. All right, so that is about it for this one. I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next one.